believe. Bang, chicka, bang, bang. Looks like we are live on X. Looks like working just fine. Let me go check the YouTube stream. Earnings was fine. Stayed a little bit later on the YouTube channel with Wolf trading and saw some fun action on Hims and Palantir. Just gonna take a look and see where they're sitting at this morning. Palantir is at 190. Hims is at 46. So Hims back to near yesterday's open. Palantir is actually down to Wednesday, October 29th open. So down a little bit there. Hims up. I mean, Palantir down, I'd say decent. What is that? 16, $17 drop. And then you have Hims currently up just a tad. Nothing too crazy. Do have a nice gap to the downside overnight that filled. So funny enough, there was already a gap right there that SPY need to be filled from this overnight session upside. So now we gap down. We gap down underneath the gap. So did it fill or did it not fill? Or now is there two gaps and they're just at the same spot? I mean, you had this gap here, but then we gap down. So now we have this gap right up here, and part of it's still within the first gap. So we gapped over a gap. I think we should fill that gap. We'll see. Anyways, let me get this link posted out that we are live. If you're here watching on X, make sure you do like and repost the stream. We greatly appreciate it. We're just going to look at a few charts for the next 20 minutes or so, just seeing how the market is looking going into the day. I mean, market looks red. I mean, I don't think that's hard to see. Other than him being green, everything else is red. Pre-bell breakdown, episode 14. Let me know what you guys are looking at and watching this morning. We can pull it up here in a moment. Let's see. So within the last hour, this is what the heat map looks like. So, um, I mean, gap down, obviously, overnight, and then things kind of gray. I mean, it looks ugly. Here's within the last 4 hours, you have your Nvidia being down, your Amazon, your J&J, T-Mobile XOM, CVXMU, AVGO. And then if you go to just the last hour, a lot of things are still gray, except for Meta. Meta is still red. So as of right now, heat map is very red overall and just kind of coming back to flat. I mean, most sectors right here from the last hour, there's little to no movement. Everything seems to be up or down anywhere like zero point 0.0 or 0.1 or 2%. So we shall see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY. The SPY is looking good. It printed a 15-minute Morningstar reversal right here. So if you were able to trade pre-market, whether it was with futures with ES or not, you probably had something similar. Beautiful 15-minute reversal here. 9 times out of 10, you want to see that continuation. Green candle next, and then boom, getting a nice candle upside. hit the 9, and now we're just kind of pulling back. It kind of looks like potentially it's about to form another one here while also putting in the higher low. So very, very interesting going into the open here. SPY gets back above 677.3, get that move back up to 679.25. And then you have that gap to fill up there. Let me go check Weeble real quick and see what Weeble has it at right now. So Weeble and TradingView always differ a little bit. The SPY is down 1%. As of right now, there's a gap that needs to be filled from 677.18 to 681.75. So let me go back over here to Weeble. 0.75. No, that lines up right there. So now there was again there was this gap right here that looked like it needed to be filled, and now we gap down into the gap. So now there's another gap here. So now it's you have a gap within a gap. So I don't know. Getting strange, but I do like how this 15-minute right here is about to close for this higher low and Morningstar reversal. That looks pretty good. Hell yeah. CLH stock, please check. Bros. Bros. We'll look at Bros. Dutch Bros. Looking another morning star right here. Nice pop-up retest to 21, pulling back down. So big support 47. Let's double bottom that. Just back tested 60. I mean, overall on the chart, not really seeing too much. Had a nice rounded bottom right here, rip upside, briefly went above and made new highs, and then just kind of consolidating back down here. I mean, overall, just looking at the chart, it seems to have some buyers step in as it gets closer to that 50, like 50, $51 area, which is right around like right here. There's your 50. Um, April dip kind of retested that, and then it double bottomed perfectly off the April low. That's right there. So 50 down to like 47. Doesn't look bad. It is underneath the daily EMAs. 9 and 21 doesn't look the best right here, but if it does give a pullback and little bounce right here, not bad. But again, I mean, if you're looking at specifically for earnings, I don't think any of this really matters that much, to be honest with you. Earnings are a complete gamble. The stock can look absolutely fantastic on the chart and then sell off. Earnings can come out and numbers can be positive and it can still sell off. And then vice versa. Chart can look like shit and have, you know, mediocre numbers come out and it rips 10%. So nothing too much over it on the Dutch Bros, I don't think. But let's go look at, we got SPY. Watching this higher low right here, and then just watch for above that 677.3 area, and then kind of get the move up here, and then get the move back up here. Other than that, nothing crazy. It is trying to form a 15-minute squeeze right now. It just started on this candle, and it's back testing the 9, rejecting right now. It's not going to form that morning star if it closes like that in about 55 seconds. So keep that on watch, though. It is starting a 15-minute squeeze. It has not flipped bullish yet. MACD's been bullish since it crossed after the bounce here, but nothing too crazy on SPY, just being down 1.05%. Qs, same thing. Had another morning star right here. Nice push up, retesting the 9, and just pulling straight back down. It is in a 4-hour squeeze. I believe they were in 4-hour squeezes yesterday. Oh, look at that nice little rocket candle on QQQ. And now just back down. There is a gap to fill here, but 4 hour squeeze was going downside since Monday, starting at 8 a.m. on Qs, and it looks like it did in fact fire downside. Did SPY also have the 4 hour? Yep, SPY had the 4 hour starting at 8 a.m. as well, going downside, and then it fired to the downside shortly after the close, and then getting the nice move down right here. So they both had 4 hour squeezes going into starting the day and going into the end of day, both that were already bearish right here, and then fired downside. So now it looks like the squeeze has been fired. We're underneath the daily 9, daily 21's all the way down there. You have, I mean, this huge daily gap fill right here on the Qs downside, and then you have one more here. So you have two gaps potentially downside right here. We are in gap number 1 right now. And then gap number 2 starts around 615.2, going down to like 611.2. So Q's is in the daily gap as of right now, gap 1. Actually, I would say that's gap 2 because now we have this overnight freaking gap right here upside as well. So you have your overnight gap downside that took us into a gap that needed to be filled here, and then you have another one right over here. So very similar to SPY, we gap down into another gap. So as of right now, I mean, markets looking very red this morning. So could see continuation for this pullback. Let's go look at Nvidia. Getting closer to that 200. So you got that support that's right here. So it starts around 201, like 40 to 150 area. Underneath that, no bueno. Can see it move all the way back down to like 195, 185, essentially almost 180, 175 at most. Daily, not looking the best. A lot of upper wicks up here on NVIDIA trying to push above that 210 area. The daily 9 is at 198, so just underneath that 200. So your daily 21 is currently at 191. I mean, I think you could absolutely see a decent pullback on some of these names, which would be fun to play for downside. But here's your hourly chart right here on NVIDIA. So essentially, NVIDIA loses this zone here. You could see the move down to this spot here. In a perfect world, you would see NVIDIA break and hold underneath this zone, and it wouldn't really, uh, it wouldn't be a slow bleed. It could be, but you honestly, you probably just want to see it accelerate. Um, Once that area right here in 200 cycle level breaks, just accelerate it straight down, $4 or $5 downside. So keep this on watch. I know NVIDIA right now is talk of the town along with Palantir because of all these posts that are circling on FinTwit with Michael Burry and shit like that. But um, putting all that aside, just looking at NVIDIA right here, it is coming down to an area of support. If that does continue to hold, then just pop it straight back up, go near 205, 206. It's going to be about this spot here. And then you have a nice little move that can potentially pop up to that 206.4 area. So see what buyers do at this support area right down here on NVIDIA. And again, if they do break and base and close underneath that, would love to see it just kind of honestly just hit 200, bounce back up, reject, and then come make this lower low and accelerate it downside. In in the perfect world to go short NVIDIA, this is kind of what you would want to see. So go ahead and screenshot this, keep this on watch. It does show NVIDIA also in a 15-minute squeeze going into the open. It is trying to move upside as of right now, but the squeeze has not flipped bullish, and we're still rejecting the EMAs, but sitting right above support. So just needs a little bit more time. Got to let the dust settle this morning. Let's go look at Google because I was watching it yesterday for a short. So it just came back down and hit Friday's low. 4 hour closed. I should have freaking added back in. I was in Google puts earlier in the morning and then caught the Q short downside, and then a lot of other tech names were starting to kind of go sideways or start to pull back a little bit. And then Google was actually holding, starting to curl up higher. And I was like, I don't like it. So I cut it for like minus 9.5%. And I was like, I want to revisit this by the end of the day to look for a short swing. And I got caught up with hymns and pounds here going into the close. I completely forgot about Google. And it did just hit that zone downside right here. So looking good so far. It did just hit target downside here around 277, underneath 277, then 275. Looking pretty good for a move down essentially all the way back to around 270 psych level on potentially googly doogly. So keep Google on watch underneath this area right here if it does continue to pull back. XRT back to 86. XRT. Let's see. Um, the daily off $80. Yeah, I like the dip. I like the dip buy on that off of 80. I don't know why I don't have like a freaking alert set or anything right there. That lines up perfectly with that daily 200. Would like to see them move back up to 83, and then after that 85, 86. So 83 is about here, and then about here to up to here looks pretty good. So definitely one to keep on watch if it does continue to hold that 80 right there. To get the move back up. So doesn't look bad. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. You can even put it your stop underneath this Friday low right here. Just take it down just underneath 80. It goes underneath like 79.4 area, risking just 50 cents downside underneath that. Um, but overall, yeah, I mean, looks pretty good. I like it. I like it. I really do like that daily chart, that back test right there. That looks very, very nice. Nice catch. I do like that one. Tesla. I mean, Tesla honestly holding up. Uh, I mean, Tesla backtest 450. I might try a long there, to be honest with you. I don't hate this for a little bit of a bounce. Look, it's already starting to come to this hourly trend line right here. So little little spot right here. I mean, get the move down, bounce the reclaim trend line, hold, and then push back up. I mean, doesn't look terrible. I kind of like the Tesla idea off of 450, and if they sleep that low a little bit by a dollar or so, and then reclaim 450. Buyer step in, looks good. 15-minute also trying to curl up for a potential squeeze, just coming down to this area of support. So I do like Tesla off that area right there. AM Dizzle. Dumping AMD, no signs of life. About to hit zone right here. Bottom of it right there, just underneath 250. AMD was in a 4-hour squeeze. Watch that shit say downside. Oh my God, it's been saying, yeah. Started the 4-hour squeeze downside on Friday, October 31st, and then flipped bearish Monday morning pre-market. Same thing with SPY and QQQ. And then just straight, tried to hold here, straight death, now coming right to that previous low. No bueno on the AMD, unless you're in puts, then muy bueno. Looking very, very good. For that knife straight through, retest, reject, and go lower. Amazon. Amazon, freaking resilient, dude. Good for you, Amazon. In a sea of red, you're just trying your freaking best. Look at that. You're just underneath 250. Just underneath 250. Not really phased by most of this shit going on right here. I mean, obviously it is pulling back a little bit, but the pullback's actually not that bad after two huge gap ups, but good for you, Mr. Jeff. My name's Jeff. Apple. Also, that's surprising. Look at Apple. Apple barely freaking moved. Apple closed here. It's just right here. That's it. It's going nowhere. Previous day low is right down there. And it's just chilling right above it up here in the zone. Good for you, Apple. That's surprising. 15-minute also in a squeeze that is actually already bullish now. So good sign for that Apple. Still consolidating, not moving higher, which is not the best thing you want to see. I'd wish it was above 267.50. I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert for 267.50. And I'm going to set an alert for this like 266.25. Watch Apple going into the open here, 266.25 and 267.50. If you get a dip buy down here, that looks pretty good. If you get a 15-minute candle close that's underneath that, not good. You get a break and close over that 267.50. There's a smaller gap to fill upside. But I mean, with everything else that's been pulling back, Apple hasn't really been pulling back. And Apple's kind of known for just doing whatever it wants, and it doesn't really matter what the rest of tech is doing. The way Spire Qs look, Apple can just go completely sideways while the market is tanking, or market could be absolutely ripping, and Apple is down and selling off all day. So, 4-hour squeeze also moving to the downside, hasn't fired yet. So very interesting, but definitely lower lows and lower highs. That right there, I think is going to be interesting. When that alert goes off, if it starts to break and close above that spot right there, I think that can be interesting. But it's in that channel right here, just lower highs, lower lows right now. So just watch that, but make sure you have that alert set for around 267.50. If it breaks above that, can get a nice little reversal out of here and get that move upside. Now, if it rejects there, doesn't break above it, pushes back down, breaks underneath 266.25 and starts to move lower, then once it takes out 265 area, then just come down, make that lower low. There is a small little move down here. It can potentially get a move down to like 263.2 and then 260 psych level after that. So make sure you do keep Apple on watch. That is a decent one setting up here. Um, Not really too concerned about Meta. Meta's just been a disappointment overall since that big move down right here. It's just lower low, lower high, briefly lower low, another lower high, and then another lower low right here. I mean, look at the daily chart on Meta. It just fell off a cliff as of right now. It's currently sitting at around that 630 area. There's a small gap to fill on the daily, just right here around 621. So there is another small gap right here. You do have, I mean, this is a potential SR flip spot right here around this 630 area. So if it does hold here, I mean, doesn't look bad to hold. Let me kind of line that up a little bit better here. And then where's 630? 630. But if it comes back down and goes under 622, could be ugly. But sitting right here at that zone right now, here's that little zone. So if it accepts and breaks underneath this low from back in May, there is that gap to fill downside. But you'll see every time it comes down into this zone right over here, they buy it back up, come back down, buy it back up, came back down. They sent it down lower. It hit the little low from over here from earlier in May, and then you do have this gap to fill downside. Reclaimed, came back down right here, and then it was off to the races. So currently, it is sitting near that zone right now. So get a move back up and reclaim 635 looks decent for Meta, but overall chart still looks absolutely freaking disgusting. So what is Bank of America doing? What are banks doing? Banks have barely moved. They're not even below previous day low. They're in the middle of the range yesterday. So nothing too concerning on banks. Let's go look at IWM before jump up IWM underneath previous day low. Not in any kind of squeeze. It is on the daily. Let me clear this out. Oh my, I mean, IWM's been a squeeze on the daily since Friday, October 10th. It's hitting the weekly 9 in this area back right over here. So you have your weekly 9 right here and also back testing an area from the highs in, what is this, November of last year. So we're testing last year's kind of highs right here now in this November of 2025. So right there at the weekly 9, that can be an interesting play if you do see a potential bounce here. Gosh dang it, TradingView. Why is it doing this? Why is it like locking my shit? You suck, TradingView. Why is that so tiny? Anyways, you get the gist of it. Well, let me draw a rectangle at least. There you go. That'll work. Right there. So back testing that area right there, right at the weekly 9, which is currently sitting at 242.3. And currently at 242.11. Pre-market high is just around 242.50. So yeah, watch IWM right here back testing those last year's high in November right now, and also the weekly 9 that's right here. So that can be a decent move up. I mean, we did just have that gap downside. See, maybe we get a relief bounce intraday, fill a gap or partial gap upside. It looks like Spine Q's just got some kind of stick trying to push back up a little bit. So 15-minute, no more squeeze on SPY. It did hold this little higher low, pushing back up a little bit higher, but nothing crazy yet. So be safe out there, guys. Where do we have the live trading link? What are you talking about? I have a live trading channel in Discord. It's called Casey Live Trading. Oh, yeah, yeah. For SPY, someone asked if I already gave levels on SPY. Yeah. So for SPY, just watch 675, 675.6 area for downside. And if that breaks, just go back down and hit that equal low. That's at 673.8. Underneath that, 672, and then 670 psych level. If SPY can break above 677.3, I like it for the move upside to 679.25, 680. And then if it can break above that, fill the gap fill from the overnight gap down up near 681.75 area. So just keep those levels on watch. Someone said Uber for earnings. I mean, it's earnings are a gamble. It doesn't really matter what the chart says, almost in my opinion. I think you can do technical analysis on it all you want, but I think earnings are a complete gamble. I sent out a chart a while ago on Uber. I have it pulled up over here. It's not charted on this screen, but it's in a channel, and I'll just cover this right before I go. You go to your weekly. Jesus, got so much shit over here. So it was in this channel right here, right? Cruising up there, cruising up here, right? So just make a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. No higher high. And if you see where it says it's trading at right here, it's directly on this blue line. So now if I go to your 4 hour, there you go. Look where it just bounced at. Not a coincidence, right there. That's where it just bounced at. So now you want to see if it can retrace, maybe back up to 93. It is back testing area of 92. About right here. So now if you go to the 5 minute, this is what it should look like. Boom! From one to the other, just like that. So now if it breaks above here, then it goes back to this spot here, start of that zone, and then the top of the zone to where the next blue one is, which lines up right up there. So looking at the chart, big buyers down here underneath 91 would like to see that hold a support and then push back up 92, 93, 94, 95. So far, they did buy it off here. It popped back up, went to 93, and now pulling back down and hitting 92. As for earnings, like I said, the fucking gamble. Numbers can come out, can be absolutely positive. Stock can go down 10%. Earnings can come out, numbers can be good, and it goes up 10%. It could go up 10% and then come back down 10%, and then go down another 10%. It can go red to green, green to red. It can go sideways and do IV crush. And if you traded weekly options, you get crushed on both sides, and it doesn't matter. Earnings, you should not be trading like you would normally for obviously like normal trading on Uber. If you're looking at a technical chart and want to take trades intraday for calls and puts, absolutely fantastic. You swing a position overnight when they release their earnings, you just turn that into more of a gamble, kind of a lotto trade there. So, so Walmart calls were the move after that EBT move yesterday. What's it doing? Oh yeah, let's long the freaking Walmarts, baby. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this beauty right here. Look at this beauty right. Just gonna go take it straight back up. Just take it straight back up from right here. Let's do it. We were talking about that yesterday. We were like, if it dips down to that 100, looks good. Let's send it back up. Wally World, looking Oh, I'm going fucking long Walmart right here. My goodness, gets over 102. Just send this bad boy. Yeah, just send it. Full send. Look at that. It's looking fantastic. Let me put this chart over here. Yeah, if there's one thing today that can be a fucking long, retail, especially IW or not IWM, WMT. Let's fucking go Walmart. All right. Closing up the stream here. Appreciate everyone who tuned in to the pre-bell breakdown. We got market open here in about 5 minutes. About to change over the live stream, live trading over to the Premium Discord side. I will be over there. I don't know how 2,000 people tuned into this session so quickly this morning. Usually, we don't get over 2,000 people, I don't think, in these ones. Usually the Sunday night lives we do, but hey, appreciate 2,000 people tuning into the session. Make sure you do like and repost it. And then let's have a great trading day. All right. Don't get don't get too emotional with trading when we see big moves overnight in the market. Just stick to your plan, stay disciplined, just have good risk management, and just move on to the next trade. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just make sure you manage your winners and losers accordingly with a good strategy, and just don't hold on hoping for something and just letting something small turn into something big. Never let a small loss turn into a big loss because you just couldn't uh, accept that it was a losing trade and you didn't want to lose that $200. And you're like, you know, it's got to come back and you add more, let it run. Then it turns into a minus 400. Like, why? Right? Don't do shit like that. All right, stick to your rules. Find good setups. Look at your higher time frames. Look at things with relative weakness and relative strength. Walmart being one of these things right now. A lot of red that's in the market, and Walmart is above previous day high and pushing higher, looking absolutely fantastic. That is relative strength. So find things like that. Look at Walmart go. Look at this bad boy. Just ripped over 102 right there. So all right, guys, moving the stream over to the premium Discord side. Hope everyone has a great rest of their trading day. I'll be a speaker on X Wolf Trading Spaces, but I will mainly be live trading, live streaming over here in the Discord. If you want to come hang out, get yourself a 7-day free trial. You can click the link that is in my bio on YouTube, or if you're watching here on X, it's in my bio. There's also a link there up on the screen. See access to my store.